Today's video we will be making Egypt an empire. So throughout the entire video, Egypt will be represented of the color of red, and whatever it attacks will be in the color of blue. So Egypt's got a couple of strong. They only have three neighbors. Their three neighbors are Libya, Sudan, and Israel. One of their weakest neighbors is Libya, so they declare war on Libya and start a small offensive in the north, another one down in the south, and one towards the middle. The Libyan army managed to push back the most insignificant one, which is the one in the middle. But up here, they lose a lot more land to Egypt because they have their military squashing that little push from the middle. So with this, they start to rearrange troops, which allows that area to get this amount of land. And these two forces linking up, which is not good for Libya, because now if this happens, one huge consolidated front, another splits Egypt kind of wants to keep it like this because their military is now spread out everywhere. So now they start to focus up here and they start pushing in towards their lost coast, but ultimately fail as these troops are encircled, taken, and Tripoli is there. So the Egyptians start pushing around the Libyan coast, ready to try and take Tripoli. They don't meet the defending Libyan forces who take back that land, but a spearhead is being made throughout this part of Egypt and from this part of the Egyptian army into linking up, so they have a route, and now almost I'd say a fourth of Libya has been lost. So they start pushing down more, and eventually meet the border of Chad, which cuts off it encircles this area, which soon falls. Gonna have another huge encirclement which gets obliterated, the capturing of Tripoli, and the bitter more squishing of Libya, until ultimately Libya surrenders over to Egypt. And the peace treaty looks like a little something like this. So they take over about 2/3 of Libya, which remains with this crippled little puppet state, I would probably say. So now they have one new neighbor, which would be Chad, and a wider front on Sudan. They eventually declare war on Sudan. And they have one push to capture the Nile River, and another push to capture Sudan's coast, which goes successfully. Eventually, the Sudanese start pushing back over here towards trying to relink up with the coast. And then we're going to have South Sudan saying South Sudan's going to join the side of Egypt to take out Sudan because of South Sudan. So at this, now there's two fronts for Sudan to worry about, and they can worry about and they're going to worry. Then they have to worry about them meeting up, in which Egypt is following the Nile River. They eventually meet up with South Sudan, creating a huge split of Sudan. This northern area soon falls because there's no place to govern it, and then we're going to have the swift fall of Sudan. Peace treaty. And the peace treaty looks something like this. So we have Egypt taking about a good chunk of Sudan, and South Sudan getting a bit more land because of how they helped. And now we're going to have South Sudan fixing up their relations with Egypt, which what their new claims is making Chad look a bit vulnerable. I don't know how to say it. I'm just an idiot. Anyways, they declare war on Chad and and start a consolidated push into the country. With this to take over all of the Nissan war claims, Chad has. Yes, look into the Nissan war, please. They push down. I know Chad's capital's there, so they start to push. And this is all desert, so they start to push down into the desert slowly but surely, until eventually Chad doesn't really want to fight Egypt, so they want to draw up a peace treaty. Chad starts to draw up a peace treaty with Egypt. And the peace treaty looks something like this. And now we have Egypt taking about a third of the land from Chad. But now they want to fix this. They want this piece of area from Libya, and since Libya is under like an Egyptian government, so they obviously say yes. No, it's a very I know it's a very significant change. And now it makes it look a lot more. It makes it look better. So now they look over to Eritrea and say, "I want that thing." And the thing that they want, it's theirs. It really is theirs. It really is. It is theirs. It is theirs. It is. Yes, it's theirs now. They have it. So now, where do they go now? So they can go over to Tunisia. Maybe they could try to snatch these Greek islands or Cyprus, but I don't know how Turkey's gonna feel about that. So their good old friend Ethiopia wants to dam the Nile, so they say, you know what? No. And I know that, yes, I know allies. These two were allies. So South Sudan's not gonna be getting involved, but we're gonna have this out. We're gonna have them pushing in from their Eritrean claims, basically very easy because they own all of Eritrea and all their troops are there because they just fought a war there. And with this, they really don't want to fight Egypt again, but they still fight because they don't like Egypt that much, so they start spearheading through, trying to connect to Eritrea, which would be very easy to take, and eventually cuts the Egyptian army here off in eastern Ethiopia, and manages to encircle another portion in eastern Ethiopia. The squadron is eventually wiped out, but these have army officials and everything. Most of that. So now we have the first push into Egyptian land being started by Ethiopia. They eventually cut off the tail of Eritrea and capture almost all of the tail. But then Egypt says no. And then just to say the least, Ethiopia, I would say Ethiopia really is not having a very good time. You know? Look, just look. Peace treaty looks something like this. I know, very scary. I know, this is very scary. I know, this is very scary. And I hope you are scared too. Because an Asian war is about to start. And guess what? It's on good old Israel. And as soon as they start to push in, the Israelis say no. But then Palestine says yes. Turns out that really wasn't a good decision. So now it's just up to Egypt to push into Israel, in which they do, because Israel used a lot of their army on Palestine. So they push up, manage to liberate about almost almost all of Palestine, and managed to wrap around and capture all the other Israelis stuck in Palestine, which just goes boom. Peace treaty time! This. Palestine taking over the rest of Israel, and Egypt takes over a small part. And now they want some more land, so they send an ultimatum over to Jordan, which they ultimately accept to avoid war with Egypt. And with this, Egypt has more of a Middle Eastern area. And now a huge war is going to start. So they declare war on Saudi Arabia. Iran says yes. Turkey says no. Azerbaijan says no. Armenia says yes. No. Yes. 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 No. No. They're not going to join. Jordan's not going to. Iraq's going to. I mixed up the colors. Kuwait's going to. Yemen's going to. Oman, UAE. I don't think Qatar can. Because they're World Cup stuff. So our first move is going to be made by Egypt over here. And they start pushing in from the Jordanese claims. And eventually link up with Iraq in northern Saudi Arabia. Encircling a lot of army troops heading towards the front lines. Because they have access to use Jordan as a military base. So with this, and now Jordan's like blocking off all military access because of gunshots. So now these Arabians are doing so hot over here, so the Saudi Arabians start pushing in a lot. They get their men back, but in the cost of losing almost a lot of their access over here, to access to water over here, which goes about to like this. And Yemen crippling civil war, a bunch of troops over here. Bang. So Yemen's practically useless. Iran makes a landing in the UAE, captures Dubai, and then captures Abu Dhabi, which just makes the UAE collapse. Oman will be the next to go as they start getting pushed into from their northern side because their troops are over here in Yemen helping out the Saudis. Muscat is captured, but Oman is still holding out. We have Turkey and everybody pushing into and capitulating all of Armenia. And have Turkey pushing into Syria. They start pushing down towards Lebanon, capture the entire country of Lebanon. And because of the civil war and everything, Syria just collapses. So now it's only Iran, Iraq, Egypt, and Egypt. Because everybody else over here has been eliminated, but pushing in Azerbaijan has been started, which basically captures their exclave and all of this land. Another campaign in Turkey started, which cuts off officials and destroys all of Azerbaijan and about a good portion of Georgia, which just that ping pow 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 pow. Peace treaty time. It looks something like. And now the Middle East looks something like this. So you have all of Egypt. So you have Egypt taking over a huge portion of Saudi Arabia, and everybody who lost the war receiving a new government. Oops, forgot to do this. Everybody who lost the war receiving a new government were either losing land. So Armenia took over all of Azerbaijan. Georgia received a new government. Turkey lost land. Saudi Arabia got a new government. UAE got a new government. Oman got a new government, and plus got half taken away from Yemen, who's still probably in a crippling civil war right now. And that's it for this piece. Iran gains that part of Turkish lands. Anyways, let's look at the states of Egypt. So here are the imperial states of Egypt. We have the Egyptian homeland, we have the Libyan claims, we have the Chadian claims, we have the Sudanese claims, we have Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Arabia. Hope you enjoyed, and see you guys next time.